Bad, he can't stay healthy.
No, that's his biggest problem.
He throws from his back foot too much. He doesn't step into his throws. He's not very good at stepping into his throws, is the next comment I had. Cross his legs too much on dropbacks, and his feet hit each other. Like,
oh, Jesus.
I don't know if you've ever watched.
Yeah, he needs to work on those mechanics really bad.
Yeah, his feet. Like, I watched a lot of like highlight videos, and on I'd say probably about 25% of his dropbacks, his feet are touching at some point.
That's going to result in trips. You're going to Mark Sanchez yourself.
Nickname Skip to Malou.
Yeah. USC cornerback Iman Marshall. He reads the quarterback's eyes well.
Who?
He's Iman Marshall, cornerback USC.
Oh, yes. Okay. No.
He's got great hands. He could be a receiver. He's really good on the blitz with his timing and anticipation. He's good at getting his hands on the ball. Again, could be a receiver. Good at intercepting the ball. Could be a receiver. Good tackler. Again, you lose that a lot. People looking for hits. He's a good open field tackler. Holding on to the ball is not a guarantee when he actually does come down with it.
I'll take deflected passes if that's...
Oh, I'm talking about on interceptions. He fumbles and has turned the ball back over.
Well, that's why he's not a wide receiver.
Right. He has issues controlling his speed, much like Nate Robinson couldn't control himself on the basketball court. Iman Marshall is very similar on the football field. And his timing is off a bit on some jumps. Not on blitzes, but on jumps. His timing is off. If he were just a little bit better at that, he would be much more dangerous than he is. And then, of course, Sam Darnold.
Obviously.
The good, strong arm, great footwork, patient, confident in the pocket, keeps plays alive. His eyes are always forward. He makes good throws, and he's a smart quarterback. The bad, he's too confident, and he's really slow at his checkdowns.
Yeah, we'll see that development. Again, he got thrown into the fire after the obliteration that was Alabama, and the kid came out firing on all cylinders. Can he tweak a couple of things and actually make his play the level that his confidence is? It's something I'm dying to see this year from USC.
Yeah, I do think that they take that
I do want to
step.
add one more that you didn't have. It's Troy Dye. He's a linebacker out of Oregon. They're not known as a defensive team, but he is NFL talent, and he is a beast at linebacker. He led the team last year in tackles for loss, and sacks. That tells you how bad the defense really needs him.
Right. So now we're going to break down the actual season. Do you guys want to start in the North or the South?
Start in the one that's the worst.
So we're going to start in the North.
Overall, the South, in my opinion, is worse.
Yeah, because, okay. So each division has 6 teams. So the number 6 team that I have in the South with a 2-10 overall record, 0-9 in conference, the Arizona Wildcats.
I have a 3-9 overall record, 1-8 Arizona State.
Ooh. I have at number 5, 2-10 overall, 1-8 in conference, Arizona State.
I have 2-10, 1-8 overall in conference, Utah.
Really?
Yes, I do not think this Utah team is. I do not think this Utah team is going to be as good as people think.
I have Utah at number 4, 7-5 overall, 4-5 in conference, Utah.
I have 4-8 overall, 2-7 in conference, Arizona.
Okay. Number 3, I have 9-3 overall, 6-3 in conference, UCLA.
I have 8-4 overall, 5-4 in conference, Colorado.
Yeah, I was going to say I'd put Colorado third in the South.
I have Colorado at 10-2 with a 7-2 overall record in. I already said Colorado
conference.
In conference. Yeah, 7-2 in conference.
UCLA at 7-5 overall, 6-3 in conference.
And then that leaves, we both have number 1.
This one's going to be unanimous. It's USC undefeated.
Yeah. I have 12-0 USC. Yeah.
So I think USC.
One loss.
Who's going to beat them? I
just think maybe Stanford. The Cardinals.
I think USC is going to. USC is one of my 4 to make the playoff this year.
Same here.
They just said that too.
I think they could make it even with one loss.
One loss is possible, but I don't know that there's Their schedule isn't really that.
They're going to beat Western Michigan. They're going to beat Stanford. They're going to demolish Texas. They're going to wipe the floor with Cal. Washington State, I think, is the one team that could beat them.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And I don't think it's going to happen.
It'd be tough, but they could do it. They at least have the talent to.
They have the meats.
You don't see Stanford being a good game at least?
I don't. Not without Christian McCaffrey.
I think Stanford's going to be better than people think because I think a lot of people wait a lot on McCaffrey leaving. I still think that they're going to be a very good team this year, but I don't think they have enough to beat USC.
I don't think they have enough to beat USC either.
Neither do I.
We'll see.
So, anything about the South? I mean, it's really outside of the top 4 teams. It's really difficult to determine the others.
It seems like a lot of the teams in the South, to me, overall, are reloading. They're getting ready to get years going forward and get the kids on pace to be able to develop something in the coming years. But, I mean, USC just emerged out of nowhere, and it's just like they left everyone in the dust.
Yeah, I mean, the one key that I can point to and say that obviously this is difficult is the fact that you and I aren't screaming at each other over these picks. Because we've disagreed on a couple things very passionately.
Yes, but I mean, our interchangeable ones. I mean, the South. I don't know.
I think Colorado is better than UCLA. That's the big difference.
That's it. And you think Utah is a better team than I do?
I still have them at number 4.
Yeah,
I think UCLA, Colorado, and Utah are all going to be pretty similar, and that's going to be just
and
right
the
in mediocrity.
state of Arizona is going to be dragging them.
Yeah.
Oh my
Arizona's
God.
going to everybody
I feel
down.
so bad for them.
Oh, so bad. So bad.
So yeah, you've got terrible, the state of Arizona,
Terrible.
and then just hodgepodge, and then USC, just the shining beacon.
And it's
in
such
the
a
South.
shame because Arizona had such a good player in Scooby Wright. It's one of the best names ever. Your first name is Scooby. What? I'd be telling everybody.
I don't know if you guys ever saw that skit with Key and Peele where they do the college football player.
Yeah.
names.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Love
If Key and Peele is great. First of all, have you seen the bad text messaging from Key and Peele?
No.
I'll type that in.
Okay.
It's a gem. That and the substitute teacher. You had to have seen that.
Aaron.
Aaron. Yeah. What? Right. Read.
Jaquelin.
Yeah. Type in bad text.
Go down to
messaging
Oshak
Key and Peele.
Hennessy's
It's
office.
perfect. It's worth it.
All right, I will.
All right. Let's go to the north.
The North. I think this is where we're going to have the most.
The north remembers.
So coming in
Game of Thrones spoilers.
coming in 6th place with a 4-8 record overall, 2-7 in conference. I have Oregon State.
Disagree. I think California is going to be the worst.
You have Oregon State.
Yeah, I have Oregon State.
Where did I put Oregon State?
I have Oregon State as second worst.
Their record last year was 3-6 in conference, 4-8 overall. So it's pretty much exactly the same, except one more loss.
I think they're going to be about the same. I just think
You're right.
California is going to be even worse.
I don't even have Oregon State on my list, so they must have been really bad.
Yeah. At number 5, with a 4-8 record overall, 3-6 in conference, Oregon Ducks.
Don't disrespect me like that.
I'm not disrespecting
1
Oregon.
and 8 Cal.
All right.
Wait, was that first? That was 6 or 5 for you?
That's fine.
That's 5. Washington, or I didn't even have Oregon State on the list, so I must have not transferred it over here after I was doing my corrections, but it's got to be terrible.
Okay.
They have to be last.
I have Oregon State as 5th.
Maybe they are 5th.
I think
don't know
they'll
why I have them missing.
I think they'll get 4 wins, maybe 5 if they're lucky.
Well, that's what I have. I
I
have
assume their last.
I have the bottom
It's
3
either that
teams
or
on here
Cal.
being 4-8. Then that means number 4, 4-8 with overall 3-6 in conference. Cal.
Yeah, I think I think I had those swapped because I want to say Oregon. That's where I had Oregon State
I had
above Cal.
I had Oregon in 4th, but better than where you're at with.
You're saying
4 and 8.
now you're saying 4th. What do we have at 4th?
4th, I had Oregon or
I had
Cal.
Okay.
With
I
Cal
have
beating
Oregon.
the only reason Cal beating Oregon. I have Cal beating
Oh,
Oregon.
I don't see that happening.
I think they're a better team. The only thing they really lost was Davis Webb.
I have Washington State at 4. 8 and 4.
No.
8 and 4 and 6 and 3.
Big disagreement here.
That's fine.
I have Oregon winning 6 or 7 games If they're lucky, they could.
What?
Get it, but I don't.
What games do you see them winning?
They have a pretty
I
easy
actually
schedule.
have
Most of the
Oregon
North actually, I
injured at
think
7-5
has.
and 6-3.
I think the North has
What?
a much easier schedule than the South.
Okay, so they're going to beat South Utah. They'll beat Arizona, Arizona State, and Oregon State. Nebraska's going to beat them. I think Wyoming's going to beat them.
I don't know.
Josh
I think they'll
Allen.
beat- I think
That's
they'll beat
fine,
Wyoming.
but it's just
Okay, so then give them the fifth win.
Talent.
I think Cal is going to beat them. Washington State beats them. Stanford beats them. UCLA,
Cal does
Utah,
not
and
beat
Washington.
them. Cal does not beat them.
I'm pretty sure Cal does.
No, absolutely
Anyways.
not.
I don't see Cal beating them at all.
Let's move on. The biggest drop off that I've had coming at number 3, 8-4 overall, 5-4 in conference. Washington.
That's where I have Washington State. Same.
Are you
eight-
talking
eight,
about
four.
number 3?
Yeah, number 3.
That's where I had. That's where I had Oregon 7-3, 6-3.
All right.
7-5, 6-3.
I think Washington lost a lot simply with the loss of John Ross and Buda Baker. I think losing those two is almost as damaging as what Michigan had.
It's possible.
I mean, I still think that they're the best backfield, best D-line, best linebacking in the Pac-12.
I mean, saying that they have the best D-line, best linebackers in the Pac-12 is like saying, hey, Texas played some defense.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But I mean, if we're comparing them to other Pac-12 teams,
It's an
then-
offensive-driven league. No one's not going to score 30 points a game.
right?
What do we
But they
have
also have a
for-
great O-line.
What do we got for number 2?
Number 2, I have Stanford, 10-2 overall, 7-2 in conference.
I have them
Stanford.
11-1 and 8-1.
I have them at 9 wins.
So that means you have Washington undefeated.
No,
Okay,
I have Washington at 11-1 and 8-1 as well.
right. Okay.
But they won the tiebreaker over Stanford.
I have Washington State at 10-2 overall, 7-2 in conference.
You have Washington State winning
I do.
the Pac-12 North.
I do.
I don't see it, even with Hercules on their team.
He's the entire reason.
I can understand why.
Luke Falk is the
I
entire
understand-
reason.
But I also
No, I mean
understand your
Hercules
affinity for Luke
Mutaafa,
Falk.
Oh.
their defensive end.
Okay, yeah.
I also understand your
Luke
obsession
Falk is
with
Zeus
Falk.
for them.
I get your obsession with them, and I get that. Does anybody believe USC is not taking the Pac-12?
No.
No, I think they're taking it, but I think Washington is the
I
closest
think that
to-
that's going to be one heck of a championship game, the Pac-12
Washington.
championship.
I really don't.
I think it is. I think it's going to be entertaining.
I think USC is going to put an absolute bomb on Washington State.
Well, I have them having Washington, so.
Yeah. Even with Washington.
But I still have USC
Washington
winning
defending
it. So,
champs.
I mean,
Yeah, I think USC is going to win it, but I think Washington has a shot.
I say USC, and I think that they get a bid.
I
the
think
college
they do
football
too. So we've gone through 3 conferences so far. The Big 12, I had Oklahoma State winning it. You had Oklahoma winning it.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean you have Oklahoma in the playoff? Or are they the conference that gets left out again?
I think they're the conference that gets left out again for other reasons. Not because of the conference itself. I think the talent of other teams, even though they may be one-loss teams, will force the NCAA to put them in.
I can see that argument, but I think they would take an undefeated Oklahoma or an undefeated Oklahoma State over a
If they're
one-loss
undefeated, I also
Florida State.
don't see both of those teams, either of those teams going undefeated.
Okay. And
That's
then
my argument for that. Because I don't see them going undefeated, and I think there are going to be one-loss teams that are better teams that deserve to be there.
Okay. And then we did the ACC, and we both had Florida State coming out of the ACC.
I think they get a bid.
You think they get a bid?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You had them having 2 losses, right?
I think I did. Well, see, now that's tough. They could get a bid. I don't
they're
know
losing-
that anyone for actually. Now that I think about it, I don't think the ACC will get a bid.
Yeah, I have our predictions in a stack of papers over there somewhere.
Oh, I'm not finding that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not finding that.
Now that I think about it, I don't know that ACC will get a bid this year.
So then if ACC doesn't get a bid, you don't think Big 12 is getting a bid, does that mean we could see USC and Washington or USC and Washington State? Or do you think they'll reserve that for Penn State, Ohio State?